Zin, I think there's a Burger King in the General Hospital. I wonder if it's open. Mate, I'm eating in 24 hours, Zin.
Has it been 24 hours?
Oh no, not yet. It hasn't. It would have been since midday yesterday. So
it will have been 24 hours.
Will have been 24 hours in 45 minutes, and it will be at least 26 to. No, it'll be at least 28 hours before I'm done. Oh. People can hear us, but you know.
I know.
Yeah, well, maybe you don't know.
But I do know.
Maybe you just like start spitting racial epithets everywhere while we're in the pre-music. I think that when we start a stream, maybe we want to look on Twitter to see what the news is. Because apparently Michael Jackson's been vindicated, which is great. Great for him. Although he has been long dead. My top 2 most tweeted are Rachel Riley and MJ Innocent. Right. On this, you guys can watch the lovely video that Zin made for the behind the streams. Behind the streams is a great behind the scenes reference, actually. That's great. That works. So, let me lower the music. Let me tell you some stories. Gather round, children, because we're starting a stream, and yes, it is going to be talking primarily about Star Citizen, obviously, but well, maybe it won't be. I don't know. We're only going to be here for about an hour, and then I'm going to complain and have a shower and get dressed. I'm going to the hospital today to have various tests, which I actually don't think I need anymore. I don't think I needed them before. Basically, I've had a pain for a while. I think it's IBS. Went to the doctor. I'm actually pretty concise explaining things. I keep diaries of stuff when I'm worried about them. I explained a load of stuff. I explained my worries. I was like, oh, I'm worried. I'm worried that I might have, every form of cancer. And can you make sure that I don't? And she went, you probably don't. And we'll give you loads of tests. So they done a load of tests for me, done a load of blood tests, and done a load of other tests. And as part of that, because I've got a pain sort of like where my around my belly button, it basically follows my colon. And for those of you who wanted to know, I'm sure you do. It's almost certainly IBS, or it could be Crohn's. It could be something similar, but something probably relatively minor or very treatable. But they're giving me a load of tests at the hospital today to sort of further confirm that. And I've had to prepare for that by fully emptying my lower body of everything that could possibly be there. Not disemboweling, but pretty much close to that. So I had sort of like extremely powerful... what are those things called? What the word I can't ever remember? The make you go poo-poo medications in.
Laxative.
Laxative. Why can't I remember the word laxative? 3 days I can't remember the word laxative. It's sort of just out of my head. You enjoying my little poo-poo story? You're too busy playing Apex. It was in does.
Me?
Yeah.
I'll have you know, I'm pushing a trolley around the cargo bay.
Okay. Okay, fair point. Okay, I just assumed. Why are you pushing a trolley around?
Because you told me to get footage of pushing a trolley.
I did tell you that.
I actually found one for once.
You've got that minute video to do as well, haven't you?
I've done it already.
You've done it?
Yeah.
Oh, I never.
It's only a minute.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll put that up after the live stream. Yeah, so I got to go to the hospital. They're going to poke me, maybe put a camera up my bum. I don't know yet. I know they're going to, I think they're ultrasounding my gut. and they said they might need a colonoscopy. So I'll give everyone. Don't worry, I will live stream the colonoscopy. Can you imagine? People would love that for some reason. I'm sure. Right, boys, we're going in.
We had fun yesterday, playing more Conan Exiles. We were planning to visit the volcano, and we were like, "Well, wait until Monkey's ready," and he'd just disappear without a word, and they'd be like, "Monkey, you there?" It's like nothing, and then he'd come back, and he would come and tell us what horror movie his toilet was representative of.
It's like, guys, you know the scene in The Shining with the elevators with the blood, but that's my toilet, but replace that blood with shit. What was the other one? There's some good ones.
Oh, there's the Event Horizon one.
Oh yeah, you know that scene of Event Horizon where it goes a bit crazy on the ship and all the guy's got his eyes in his hand. There's blood all over the walls. Oh, that's my bathroom at the moment. Give you little updates. I said I'm not going to be there regularly, because I'm going to be on the toilet. I'm probably going to be on the toilet. You went, it doesn't matter. And then when I did come back in Conan, what did I do? I jumped off a cliff into the middle of a volcano. I couldn't get my body back. I couldn't actually be bothered to get my body back. It was too far down. I was like, we just completed our run through anyway. So, if you'd like to ask a question during the live stream, whether it's about colonoscopies or Star Citizen, please just question in brackets in front of your question. I'm doing pretty well. Evil, you have won nothing at all. Congrats. You are the best nothing at all winner that we've had. Is New Frontier... What's New Frontier? Is that the Elite Dangerous? Isn't that Odyssey? What we got? Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for listening to my my dumb problems.
I just realised the video's pretty apt at the moment.
What? Bathroom.
The 404 with all the bathrooms.
Yeah. Thanks. Do you get to keep the camera? I don't think they're going to be able to reuse it, to be honest. I think I'm a unique test case. I'm not too embarrassed about stuff like that. Like, I always think that it's worth going to the hospital, get your, if you're a boy, get your lumps checked out, if you know what I mean, by the sexual health nurses and stuff. It's worth doing. But I worry more about the nurses that are behind me having to deal with my ass. Do you know? That's what I worry about. Okay, yeah. Thank Roland. Thank you very much. Appreciated. I thank you very much for the money. I'm not sure why you're donating to some moderately successful YouTuber that's talking about his gutty works, but I appreciate it. Thank you. And can someone please answer my question? Going to ask this every day until someone answers. Been asking for a week now. Is iCache fully working? No. There you are. Shall I continue the rest of your question, though? Like no more losing cargo to crashes. Message 9 out of 365. John Fitzgerald. iCache is not fully working. iCache is slightly implemented in the fact that a load of components and parts and features are now built with it in mind and have some of this sort of iCache goodness coming into the game, as it were. But iCache is not fully working and fully implemented. It has been rolled into the persistent streaming and server meshing sort of umbrella of a load of different features that are all being worked on. When you crash, your computer crashes, yeah? You should be able to recover your cargo. You should be able to log straight back into the same server that you were in. When the server crashes, which is a 30k, which is the more likely form of a crash, you lose your cargo still. It is annoying. They need to do something about it. It's not there yet. But that is your question answered, sir. Honestly disappointed. We need to wait for Fleet Week until we see the C2. Not necessarily, but... I said but, and I have been talking a lot about my colon today, but it's most likely that we'll see the C2 and the M2 and that larger 3.13.x patch during Fleet Week. Roland, he's giving me a message this time. I have the same health issues, man. It's a pain. I wake up 7 times a night from awful gut pains and acid reflux. Definitely know what we're going through. Oh, I appreciate the love. Appreciate the money. I'm ill too. Have money. Thank you. Well, I mean, I just think it's important to get all that sort of stuff checked out. And I'm a massive hypochondriac. Or see, I'm bipolar and I have quite bad anxiety, which is very erratic. It's not. It's all super manageable, but I will worry about my health. But that I try to have that sort of fear and worry drive me forward rather than hold me back. The worst thing to do in my head would be, in my opinion, would be to let your fear and let your worries paralyze you into doing nothing. If you're going to have those fears and annoyance and like, oh my god, this is horrible, have it propel you forward, not stop you. Because fear or worry and anxiety is a genuinely great motivator to get a lot of stuff done. We don't use the term iCache around here, boy. Bored, get some food. I'm not allowed to eat. I'm not allowed to eat. Yeah, so I want to talk a bit about Fleet Week in a bit. Much respect on how easily you talk about your physical, medical, and mental health issues. Great job. I mean, it's just stuff that's happening to me. If I didn't talk about that, I'd have no content. Shit. Going through this same thing right now, Bored, actually feels random. So, yeah, I mean, everyone has probably quite minor health issues. Most of this stuff is worth getting checked out in case it is more major. And talk to your doctor. I can't give you proper medical advice in the sense that some countries obviously don't have a national health service. It's fantastic in the UK that we do, because I'd go see a doctor. It doesn't cost you anything. And obviously in some countries it does. So, but I would say talk about your sort of issues, whether they're mental, physical, or other medical, and go see a doctor. Don't be afraid of that. Don't be embarrassed, for God's sake. The CitizenCon demo where they jumped into Pyro through the jump point looked kind of like a colonoscopy. Thanks, Mark Douglas. Appreciated. What will it take for you to stream it? Oh, man. I'm going to answer the questions that are currently in chat at the moment. We'll clear those out. And then we'll talk a bit about Fleet Week. Hello, Ash Rackham. Like your YouTube stuff? Thank you very much, Evil Marksman. Oh, this is a bit of a shit stream. All the puns. You've come here for the turbo puns. How long do you think it'll be before Star Citizen is a serious title? So I think rather than serious, which is really hard to define exactly what you mean by that, mainstream title, 4 years. Probably much more mainstream. Around sort of beta time, 4 years. Sin's probably going, I've got to work on this for 4 years? Oh, God. At least, Sin. Probably 10. Yeah. Mate, you're going to get paid more each year, and you'll be like, I'm an editor now. Oh, you need to start respecting my authority. Like that to me. She already does that, so just so people know. In one of your latest videos, you said something about an expo during the next months. I thought it would be at the end of 2021. So there's the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, which is at the end of November. At IAE. But there's also the other expos they do throughout the year, or can do. So Fleet Week is another time where they have an expo hall. So there'll be an in-game area where you can look at and rent ships from, which this year should be from Microtech. So, and that's Fleet Week at the end of May. So, and we'll talk more about that in a minute.
I broke the trolley.
I just bought Star Citizen. You broke it?
Yeah.
You sound really sad.
I am a bit.
They made them so that they took damage so that they couldn't be used to grief so well. So that they didn't like beat an 890 jump, which would take damage. I'm sorry, Zin. You got it as like a pet, have you?
Well, I was trying to get it in an elevator, and it's now on its side, and I can't.
I think they're still broken for elevators and ramps.
I wanted to see.
Yeah, and now you might know. Who knows? I'm sure you'll try it again.
Mm-hmm.
Is a Ryzen 7 2700X, 16 gigs of RAM, and an RX 580 good enough for Star Citizen? I'd say try and get a better graphics card. That will work for Star Citizen. You will be able to play Star Citizen. I'd say your graphics card is aging. But good news, your 580 RX 8 gig is still vastly wanted by the Bitcoin mining community because it's an 8 gig version, which means it can mine Ether. Will the Herc's new storage on the top floor, shown inside Star Citizen, be physical or just drag and drop items? So, first stage expectations for local inventory that we should be getting this year is that it will be an interaction point for you to put your gear and your stuff on the ship and move them off the ship into the hangar or the other local area that you're in. So you'll interact with them, drag and drop. That's the expectation. Tell you what, I'm much more concise about answering questions when I haven't eaten. Personally, I prefer an endoscopy over the colon one. I'm not sure if I get choices of it. They like spin a wheel and they go, "You're having a limb removed," or something. Come back out of hospital with a great set of tits, and you'll be like, "Oh, Bored, have you lost weight?" That's what people would say. What should I upgrade? You're talking about your graphics card in that system, Zandre. How do I say? Is it Zandre? Sand, or is it Xander?
I'd say Zandre.
The only reason I say Xander, potentially, because like theatre. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Xandre or Xander. I'm sure we'll find out soon. Slightly disappointed with 3.13. In the last 24 hours, every single one of my 30 owned ships has exploded upon leaving them. Oh. Sin, check that out. I haven't had problems like that, and I've only played for a few hours in 3.13 live. Probably like 2 hours.
I'll have a look. There is a massive queue. I just got crashed, so.
Okay, yeah. Don't know whether it's by EVA or landing. Well, your ship just explodes. So there's lots of problems with trolleys, but they shouldn't implode your ship so much anymore. There's a load of fixes in the in the T PTU patch that they've just released. I say just released. It's on the PTU. Oh, that's a shame. So I'm disappointed by 3.13, not because of any instability or major bugs or anything, but just because it was light on content. I've had a pretty good experience, but I haven't played it that much yet. Playing a lot more after today. I'm breaking my diet today. I've been on keto for a while. People may have noticed I've lost quite a bit of weight. Since you wrote me that little spreadsheet, Zin, because Zin made me sort of a weight tracking spreadsheet a while ago.
DC did. I merely copied it and linked it to you.
Okay. But you sort of like, I feel that you're critical of my weight on there for some reason. Or at least like looking at it going, I think it was like 207 pounds when I started. Actually, let me bring it up. Update it. What was it called?
Macro weight tracker.
It's not owned by me, it's owned by you. Okay, cool.
Did you not? You created a copy, did you not?
I can't remember. I've got your version.
I think I named it Macro Weight Tracker for Monkey.
Yeah, so I started. So this is in January 2020. Started with this, and I was trying to lose some weight because I was fat and unhealthy. So I started getting runs regularly. I was tracking what sort of supplements I was on, because sometimes I was having like fibre and sometimes I was having iron or milk thistle or whatever, just to sort of be sensible if I ever had any problems in the future. I started at 208 pounds and I got down to 182. I got down to 182 in October. No, that's me putting it in more recently. I got down to like around just under 200 pounds, I think, last year. And since doing keto, I'm down to under 180. I think I'm at 178 at the moment. I want to get to 170 and then do a reasonable amount of exercise and lift heavy objects so that my upper body...
Put them down again.
Yeah, or maybe not. I don't know. Sometimes I might just lift them up and keep them there. Be like, Monkeys, something changed about you when you next see me. Be like, we're lifting things. And, yep, I haven't put these down in a week. It's burgers, mate. Lifting burgers to my mouth. Yeah, mate, I think there's a Burger King in the General Hospital. I don't have to worry about, you know, it being bad on my guts. Eat it. Oh my god. I get home and I have a curry as well. See, I can't. So just before I started the stream, Zia knows I'm starving. Food is one of the main joys in my life. Yeah. And she went, "Oh, really want a curry? This is breakfast time."
I'm sorry.
Okay, it's breakfast. I'm like, I'm so hungry.
Forgot.
You did not. You wanted to.
The thing is, I can't even have a curry tonight because.
Oh no, can't you? Oh fucking.
I'm sorry to bring up food again, but DC is going out for a pizza later with his mates.
So why can't you have a curry?
Because he likes having curries, so I can't have one without him.
Oh, it must be nice to be in love. Oh look, I'm in love with my boyfriend. Oh, isn't he lovely?
The thing is, obviously, we're trying
Can't believe he's friend-zoned me as well. No, what are we talking? What are we talking about?
But obviously, we're trying to do a low carb diet. He's only eating pizza because he's going out with his mates.
I like to think that that's partly inspired by me losing weight.
Yeah, it is kind of. He looked at you and went, "I'm doing keto."
Good. Keto works for me. I mean, it's not going to work for everyone, and do not take diet advice from any of us. God's sake, look into it yourself genuinely, and talk to your doctor or a dietitian, and not like a new age mad one, proper ones, like a witch doctor.
Witch doctor?
No, not like a witch doctor.
Doctor Who?
No. Although, if you could ask him, her, them, then that would probably be good. Have you read any of Jordan Peterson's books? He addresses anxiety and and been quite powerful. I don't want to get into the political nature of anything Jordan Peterson, only because I don't think some people are. I want to keep the channel politics free, and although I think Jordan would probably say himself he doesn't want to be political in that sense, I do read his books, and I've got 12 Rules for Life, and I haven't read his new book. But I do think that there's a huge amount of wisdom in his teachings and his sort of his breakdown of that sort of stuff for sure. Especially if you're disorganized as a human. So maybe not for everyone, but I like what he's got to say. I don't want to get political or anything like that with it. Like, people can believe and think what they want, and answer your question, but I'll be as cagey as I can about it. I wish we could talk about politics freely on the channel without people getting offended or upset or angry. Everyone being able to respect each other's opinions. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice?
Fucking game crashed on me again.
Oh, you're getting instability now.
No, well, I was in the queue waiting to join.
Is it 30k or is it you crashing?
I don't know. I guess it's me. It's not 30. It's not saying it's. I'm not even on a server.
We'll have to check that out. I'll have to work that out. That's weird.
I'll just keep trying.
Yeah. Eleman watched you from time to time now since beta. What? What beta? What? Star Citizen's in alpha. Still in alpha. What a tiny ship to support the game. What do you think of the development of the game, and when do you think the game will be done? It will never be done, but it will be on the shelf full game, probably in around 5 years. Star Citizen, the Persistent Universe. Obviously, there's Squadron 42, which should be done within the next 2. Hopefully, by the end of 2022. Please, CIG, please give me a game. The development is very slow, but it is hugely unique and really interesting to follow. The community is genuinely fantastic, and it's special in the fact that they are truly helpful of people. I mean, there are some bad apples that you'll hear about, because for some reason Star Citizen's very polarized with the people that are dislike it. It's not the people that are bad in the community, it's people that dislike Star Citizen and Star Citizens and the community having fun or enjoying the game or white knighting it, and they obviously get very, very annoyed about that, and that's a fair criticism. But yeah, the community is great. The development of the game is really interesting in the fact they give you so much information all the time, and it's just there's a load of drama with Star Citizen. Lots of odd articles about it, like Star Citizen forced all their people to work during a snowstorm in Texas. Well, yeah, people around the world that weren't in Texas were working, and the people that were in Texas during the snowstorm that were able to worked. But the people that weren't, didn't. And it was like this article, like, they forced them to work. And it's like, what? It's a dumb article. Especially seeing that all of them came out on Twitter and said they weren't working, or they got loads of help from CIG and things like this. It was just weird. It was a weird thing. But it's a really interesting development to follow, warts and all. It might not be the best sit down and play game yet, especially if you want something to be a bit more full and rounded, but the development's great, the development's interesting. Slow, though. Idris P, will it be for sale during Invictus? It could be. It could be. It's normally on sale for the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo at the end of the year, so end of November. However, it's possible it could be on sale for Fleet Week. It makes sense for it because they could make a load of money. Typically, it's between $1,250 to $1,500. And it could be separate batches. And that's what they normally do now. They do like 4 separate sets of batches every few hours, so that people in different time zones can get them. I'm looking to get a no worries, mate. I'm looking to get a solo ship for whatever bounties, but can't decide on a Vanguard, Warden, or a Hurricane. Hurricane is more of a 2-person ship. Warden much more suitable for doing those bounties solo, in my opinion. If you want to expand into FPS bounties eventually when they come out, and then something like a Hawk could be viable, or a Cutlass Blue. But I think a Vanguard of some description is probably your best bet. I mean, look at the others a bit more as well, not just the Warden. Look at the others, because the Vanguard Sentinel is probably my favourite of the Vanguard series. Although I'm looking forward to its sort of implementation to get the E-War / EMP stuff for it. Which version of the Hercules are you looking forward to the most, and why? Okay, so I'll be using the C2, okay, for the Hercules. I think that's the most effective use of the Hercules. It's got the most space and vehicle carrying capacity combined. Yeah? So the M2 hasn't got as much cargo space if you carry 2 tonks, but you can carry 2 tonks and some cargo with the C2. Do you see what I mean? And you could argue it's the right ship for the right job. It's going to be better. Like if you're going into somewhere more dangerous, we're using it as a hot drop ship, then the M2 is going to be better. But I want to make as much money as possible, and I see that being made with the C2. However, I'm really looking forward to the A2, even though I think it's a ridiculously overly expensive ship. But I want to see gravity bombs. I want to see the cluster bombs. I want to see all that sort of stuff. Does Fleet Week have all the ships go on sale? Typically, it's combat-related and support ships. So anything that could be used by the military, anything that's combat-orientated, anything that's support of those ships. So you should see the Ares Inferno and Ion, for example. Are you looking forward to Microsoft Direct Storage API? I'll ask DC about it and then look into it. You might just know. Thanks. Appreciate that. I suspect that Cloud Imperium will try to leverage as much of the Amazon Web Services stuff, though. So Amazon probably backs Star Citizen pretty heavily, seeing that I would probably suspect that Star Citizen is by far the most premium and AAA game on Lumberyard still. They need Star Citizen to sort of work for them to say, look, our engine's good. Although I would say that the StarEngine is probably quite far away from what the Lumberyard engine was. For industrial ships, like the Crucible and the Orion, do we need to wait until the end of year sale? It's possible they could sell them at Fleet Week, maybe. That's less likely. And there certainly could be other sales during the year, but you'll almost certainly get them at the end of the year, for sure. So, not necessarily, but you're not going to get them any earlier by waiting by the end of the year, because they're not going to be in game for ages. Do you see what I mean? And the Crucible could certainly be sold at Fleet Week, though. It's a support ship for combat. You see what I mean? For repair related. Will we see any of the Hull series go on sale for Fleet Week? It's possible. Again, support ships carrying supplies for the UE Navy in the Hull Sea. Something like that could be potentially a thing. But again, as I said previously, you could get them on sales throughout the year. And at the end of the year for the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, yes. But is it true that the new NHS colonoscopy procedure features a webcam strapped to a ferret? I'll tell you later. Choose your animal. I'll go for... Got anything bigger? Jesus. The stream's become so weird. It started weird. I'd say become. It started out weird. I have not eaten in almost 24 hours. I will not be able to eat until about... it's midday now. At the earliest, I would suspect at 5 p.m. So another 5 hours without food. The ROC actually persists in ship now. Even if you log out in bed. Don't log out in the bed. Don't log out in the bed. Bed logging was bugged as hell. Is that fixed now? Bed logging was terrible. It would put you in infinite respawn screens, infinite loading screens, and you'd have to reset your character. So I'm still advising people not to do it just in case. Okay, so you can log out with your ROC in your ship, and then when you come back, you can spawn your ship and your ROC will be in it. Cool. And that works with some ships anyway. But also, I suppose, now you've got the added bonus of vehicles in ships sort of not exploding so much, being able to get in there without janking so much, things like that. The physics grid stuff seems to work. So on exploding ships, it looks like the ships are taking damage from collisions between the component parts and the ship enter and exit ramps. Yeah, they've done some tweaks and some fiddling with the physics grids, and I assume that probably the individual components are sort of part of that. And I think that maybe that has caused some other issues. Hopefully they'll get it solved really quickly. What the fuck is Milk Thistle? So Milk Thistle is a supplement they give to people that's supposed to help cleanse your liver. They give it to people that have got like alcohol problems and things like that. But I have fatty liver, and I took that for a little while to help, apparently, according to words I read on the toilet wall on the internet, it's supposed to be relatively good at helping with fatty liver in the short term. I suspect I don't have fatty liver anymore. I have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It just meant that you got too much of the percentage of your cells in your liver are fat cells. Personal questions today. As a military man, I've had some issues with not being able to train or eat, and when I wanted for 3 months now. How you deal with that? I mean, food is one of the joys of my life. So, I'm trying to be healthy, and I'm using keto to lose weight. I'm not sure if I'll be on keto for a long period of time, but I want to be able to then go back to a diet where I'm enjoying foods, all types of food that I want to eat, but in a sensible way. And I sort of manage that. I'm just going to just eat everything and exercise. So I sort of want a bit of a lifestyle change. And I'm relatively good up until last week at running for about a half an hour to an hour a day on my my running machine behind me. Can't see that. There's a green screen in the way. But I've also bought a kickstarted a personal gym thing, which actually got quite high ratings and looks pretty good. Yeah, it's in. Yeah, I kickstarted a personal gym thing, and it looked pretty good. I mean, it might be a total scam, but it arrived today, and I sort of kickstarted a year ago. So maybe that will I'll be able to do heavy lifting type things and exercises, or things that do the same muscle groups with that. But I want to get a bit healthy. I don't know if you had to restrict your diet, that would be hard because of medical reasons or something. Because I'm working towards being able to have a balanced diet, but I wanted to reset and I wanted to lose some weight because I want to get down to a certain weight and then say, don't get above this weight. You get above this weight. If you get close to this weight, then do more exercise and eat a bit less, or eat a bit better. But I want to be able to eat a pizza occasionally. Keto is really restrictive, and but very doable for me. It's not like a diet that I would often break. I think I've had 2 treats during keto, which is I went to my mate's barbecue and had some cider, some dry cider though. I was trying to have as low carb as possible, low sugar as possible, and then I had a curry. Well, I had like a tenth of a curry with pretty much no rice, but it's still probably not too keto. Thanks for the answer board. Definitely a pain how put out people are about other people's opinions. Yeah, indeed. Look, I do not want to live in an echo chamber. I love the fact that Zin and DC, her partner, and Kit, and all the people that I talk to daily have very different opinions from me. I love that. I love talking about our opinions. I love talking about what we think about stuff. I love being challenged. I love being it's fine to be wrong. Why? How do you think you could form an opinion immediately and it always be right when you don't have all the information? That's impossible. And even when you do have all the information, you're going to be hugely biased by what's happened to you and how you think about it and what will affect you. And that's all right. That's totally fine. Just be respectful of other people's opinions, typically, even if they're pretty shitty opinions. Which is why I'm fine with like Star Citizen Trolls coming in and talking about their stuff, and I don't want people to I will welcome them. I will welcome them, their content. I can say, no, I'll address your question, and if you're going to be uncivil, that's when you get banned. That, it's not being civil. We live in a democracy. Well, actually, maybe you don't. Most of us live in a democracy. I love democracy. That's not a Palpatine quote. You're not supposed to be. And it's important that you don't use violence in a democracy, in my opinion. So.
I'm finally loading into game.
Cool.
After about 3 queues.
It's weird that you're getting lots of problems now. Have you checked the status page?
No.
Let's have a look. And it says operational. It's all operational. Okay, no incidents. You should report some incidents in.
Shouldn't I?
I am going to do a how to use the issue council and general bug fixing video, or bugs that we encounter video, to get you sort of used to doing that occasionally, because I think bugs are interesting things to talk about occasionally as well, like when you had your happy little hornet.
He was happy.
so Zin spawns a Heartseeker in the PTU, and it just went mad in the hangar. Didn't explode, but had all of its damage, like on its wings and everything, just maxed out. You could see all like the skeleton of the ship, and it all glowing like it's being shot at, and it was just going mad in the hangar, jumping everywhere. He was a happy little boy. And yeah, the ROC DS is the ROC BS. I liked people talking about it like that. It's I can't see the point of the vehicle. I think it's trash. I genuinely do. I'm disappointed by it. I look at it and go, why would you make that? And I don't want to upset any artists or any developers that made it, because I'm like, they were probably given a brief of making a dual seat ROC and they made something that's looks alright, maybe. Without the extra arm, or maybe with the extra, I don't know. It's just, it doesn't serve any purpose in the game. It's just, yeah, a ROC. The ROC DS is dumb. A normal ROC, you're much better suited. When VIP transport gameplay comes into the game, do you think we'll need to grind for reputation for higher payout missions? Meaning if you have a 890 jump now, it's useless at the start? So I think that getting some of the higher grade VIP missions will require you to do other missions and to get reputation with that area to get them. So you could still do the 890 jump missions. Maybe you could do multiple VIP transport missions in the 890 jump, or you could do a lot of other stuff with it. But maybe it's not the right job for a low tier, not the right ship for a low tier VIP mission. Pardon me. Bit gassy. Why is there no jump point in April? Was there no April jump point magazine? Oh. Was there not? I don't know. I can poke CIG. I got a warning about Alpha UEC when booting the game.
Yeah, I got that as well.
So what did it say?
It's just basically saying that Alpha UEC is purely alpha and you probably won't be able to keep it or something like that.
Cool. I think it's
essentially making you aware that it's not the actual in-game currency.
Yeah, so I think making people aware of that's good. And also, hopefully that will mean people won't buy Alpha UEC from eBay at exorbitant prices.
50k error.
50k, sorry, 50ks and 30ks are pretty similar.
Unable to connect to the game network.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the back-end services going down.
Good job.
Yeah, it's possible they're doing some stuff on the servers that they haven't announced properly. Because I was having problems when the patch first came out.
Guess I'll just have to play some Apex instead then.
I mean, you could look up some lore stuff, Sin.
Yeah, I could.
You could have most of the day off, to be honest, mate. You have most of Tuesday off if you've got other stuff that you want to do in your life and play Apex and chill.
No, I think I will get that one lore video done. Because although DC's here today, he's downstairs working. So
okay.
I have the upstairs to myself.
Do you want to? I want to finish off the Conan playthrough at some point. Although we're pretty much done, other than story events now. So I think we've got some other games that we want to start playing. We've got Journey to the Savage Planet, which we started very briefly, and it's very good. We've got It Takes Two. And then we've got some more larger scale multiplayer ones, which are Eco, that we're playing with the artist previously known as Twerk, Salty Mike, and some of our mates. He's doing it more as an economy simulator, though. So it's like Eco as Eco is intended to be played, plus some mods, effectively. When we did our playthrough of Eco, it was a bit easy. Because we were mostly in unison. I say mostly, because on the first day I said, Zin, can I live with you, seeing we're doing co-op? And she went, no! No live with me! You dumb! Get out of house! Oh. So that was a bit upsetting.
I'm an independent woman.
Yeah. It's not that you don't need no man's help. It's that I don't want your dumb to get on me. That's the way I feel.
I saw your house in Conan.
My house at new base is at least a house.
Your first house didn't even have a floor.
No, it didn't. Didn't need one. Second house didn't even have a roof.
Yep.
I'm not that sort of micro build. I don't like micro building. I love strategy game building. I love placing whole objects. I like building to the extent of I want industry and I want function, and placing the sort of benches and stuff. But I don't want to build individual wall panels. I can't have it in my brain. How come you changed your live stream time? I will set a proper live stream time more readily in the future. At the moment, I've just been a bit erratic with stuff and going to the hospital in a bit today. Didn't know when I was going to be back. It'll be later today. But I was like, I'll stream now so I don't have to worry. Because I don't know if I'm going to be, how I'm going to be feeling on Wednesday. It's Tuesday today, isn't it?
Yes, it's Tuesday today.
What will the final version of ships breaking look like? What are the plans? So we know that they want ships to be able to break apart. We know that they want ships to be able to have individual damageable components. To what exact extent that's going to happen with smaller ships, I don't know. With the breaking them apart, because the larger ships, potentially, even though parts of them have broken apart, they might still be individually functional, or at least part of them might be functional, as long as they basically have like a little circuit which connects the components there and relays there, and you can have bits of your ship blown off and you can actually still have it functional. Though that's more hull stuff. So it's going to look pretty. We don't know exactly what it will look like. It's going to be a physical damage system. There is going to have layers of the hull that will be displayed underneath as you break through them. And if you hit a component underneath, bam, you hit a component and you damage that component. Unlimited democracy. Do you think they'll be doing a Alpha UEC wipe soon? So people are getting the warnings, but they're not getting a warning that there's going to be an Alpha UEC wipe soon. They're just getting a warning, look, Alpha UEC is temporary. We may do a wipe. And they will do a wipe at some point. Good afternoon, Honey Badger. If you'd like to ask a question during the live stream, question in brackets. I'm not going to be on for too long, just so people know, because I do want to drink a load of water, which I'm allowed to drink, well, 6 minutes ago. 1 second, I'm going to have a sip of water. So I'm not devastatingly dehydrated later. Yeah, I've got to go to the hospital. I've got to be there and ready in a couple of hours. So I'll stop the stream relatively soon so I can have a shower and stuff. What do we got? So I know 3.13 was coming out. Cargo training and mining was supposed to be fixed, but it isn't. Any idea why? So cargo and training should be fixed, as is mining, as far as I was aware. I've done some of the gameplay loops. They don't make much money. They're not necessarily viable gameplay loops financially, but they're functional gameplay loops. Do you expect CIG to fix the positioning problems of players, like rubber banding and inaccuracy? Yes, that's one of the things they are focusing on. They're focusing on a load of the network code and removing some of the delay and detection and prediction problems that they have. It is something that is part of persistent streaming, at least rolled into that sort of bundle of optimization. When do you think they'll be adding the 300i to Smash? What? don't understand what that question is. Sorry, Preston. If you can rephrase it. What else have we got? Question. Once user bases are a thing, will you be creating a BoredGamer hangout and dive that we can come visit? Yes. I'll have my own. I'll have a more social BoredGamer account and character that will be much more public, and I've got various other accounts that I will use for my own personal game. Sorry, Roger Walker, I didn't actually see your message. How do you think the AI creatures will be, considering they have trouble getting NPCs standing and behaving realistically? So, good question. They are working on AI behaviors now hugely. You can see a load of that in the monthly reports, and they talk about the load of the AI stuff they're working on. AI is one of the most derpy things in the game at the moment. It needs a huge amount of work, but they will get it working. Like, I don't have any doubts about that. And AI for animals is just pretty much the same as AI for NPCs, just different behaviors, different types of pathfinding potentially, different animations for that. I think that they want to get like the Boreal Stalker and stuff in actually not in the not too distant future, which is the Microtech Yeti. What is your view on runways for landing wheel chips on? I mean, I love the idea, but I think it's too much effort to do. I don't think they need that. It would be cool, though, wouldn't it? Do you think trade will be worthwhile again soon? It needs a tweak. Hopefully they'll do it in a 3.13.x patch. Mining and cargo trading need to be tweaked so that they are viable gameplay loops. You want the monies. You want the monies there. Are there any external tools that you'd recommend for new players? Game Glass, so you can use your phone or a tablet or a touchscreen laptop or whatever as a diegetic screen, so you can use it as a controller device. Fantastic, fantastic Game Glass. There's Tobii Eye Tracker, boop, which is natively supported by Star Citizen. Literally tracks your eyes. You can set it up in loads of different ways. It's not a FOIP thing. It's not a face over IP. I'm doing your expressions. It's literally tracking your eyes as a controller. There's obviously loads of different HOTAS and things like that. Urkel Games DPS calculator. You can outfit your ships. You can work out a load of sort of DPS stuff on there. That's a fantastic piece of fantastic website. Anything else that I super regularly use? And that's the stuff I super regularly use for Star Citizen. I'm not sure what the best trade calculator is at the moment. Not sure if there's which ones have been updated for 3.13 yet. Would we see Nyx or Pyro at CitizenCon? So I think we could see them. I think we could see both at CitizenCon, and I think we'd see both in game next year. You may have not noticed my previous posts, but you, sir, the spitting image of my cousin. I'm very sorry for your cousin's face. What are your thoughts on the intermediate patch between 3.13 and 3.14? So 3.13.x patches. Considering CIG has been pretty quiet about it, lots of stuff left out in 3.13, pretty light on content so far. Yeah, so it's possible they're sort of gearing up for Fleet Week, end of May, and well, we know they are. But some of the 3.13 content that we're waiting on is coming in in a 3.13.x patch is the Nova Tank, the Hercules C2 and M2, ship to station docking, and spawn closets. They're all pretty big stuff. Not wanna go out of bounds here, maybe. But are you thinking of leaving a message on your ass for the nurses to see when they jam the camera up there, like a bullseye or something? Nice. No. I just write "be gentle" really badly backwards on my ass. I'm an NPC that resides on Lawville. You know when I will be able to get over my addiction of standing on chairs? No. I mean, why would you? I think they're on drugs. Don't you think that the warning they send out is kind of a hint to something? Wipey on the way? It's possible. It's possible, but I think it's more of just a general warning. I think that some people with Alpha EBC have not been aware that it is going to be wiped occasionally. So it's covering their bases. Some people have been buying and selling Alpha EBC on eBay. So you want to know that that's not a great thing to do. They did have a reputation wipe for 3.13. Okay, actually, serious question. So the current cave combat missions are nigh unplayable due to weapons bugs that have been introduced in 3.13. So, as long as you're not picking up guns, and as long as you've got a couple of weapons on you and you can change your weapons out, you're fine. It's not ideal, though, so they do need to fix it. And I think they are fixing some of that in the latest PTU patch. How is the star map rework going? We don't know. We don't know when it's going live. We don't know what's going to be in our hands. We know that they're working on a big star map overhaul. We know that they're working on a load of stuff for that. They're working on mini-maps. They're working on maps, mini-maps, star maps, locational data, points of interest, scanning, loads of exploration type stuff. It's all super important for Star Citizen. We do not have an indicator of when that's actually going to be in-game, though. All of that's being worked on this year, though. Why are you fat shaming your liver? Huh? What? I made a comment about I had fatty liver disease earlier. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't fat shame it. But my liver was unhealthy and could cause complications, so that's why I was fat shaming it. Will you have my child? I mean, what? Not you, Sin. This guy, Yort. He wants me to have his child or her.
I just the best stack in Star Citizen.
Yeah, what? How many crates?
No, with a trolley.
Oh, I see.
So I grabbed a trolley from a hangar, ran across the landing bay with it, and then as it went down the ramp on the other side, I just went flying over the top and landed in the trolley.
Oh, good job. Did you actually land like stagger land, fell over?
I'm not quite. I've got it recorded, so we'll be able to see. Oh, that was brilliant.
I'm not going to jam sweet corn up my butt. What the hell? Why are people like this?
It's the internet, isn't it?
I know you're right. Is there more information on the cart I saw on the screen earlier? Are there more ways to handle cargo? Zin is literally pushing cargo around at the moment, getting some footage for me. There's not much to do with the cargo trolleys at the moment. You can put cargo on them, you can put players on them, and you can drive them around and push them around. But at the moment, not much to do with them. In the future, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a way to handle large amounts of cargo. But they're really bugged for ships at the moment as well, so you can't put them on elevators or push them up ramps properly. But they are in 3.13. Have you been tackets about Fleet Week yet? And how will it be structured? How can I prepare? So I can only give you what I assume for Fleet Week, which is probably pretty accurate. So end of May, so probably starting around the 22nd-ish till and for about 10 days, there's going to be Fleet Week. Fleet Week is a free fly event because it is about recruitment and military ships. So you should have free fly for that week, so anyone can try Star Citizen for free. You should get some ships for free as well during that week, everyone. And there will be an expo. So there'll be an expo hall on New Babbage, Microtech on New Babbage. New Babbage on Microtech. You go there, travel there in the train, and then you'll be able to rent ships and vehicles straight from there. Now, it's possible that they'll have all the ships available all the time. or it's more likely they'll have certain manufacturers in the expo hall on different days, and they'll change on different days. We'll have to wait and see. It depends on the sort of amount of ships that's going on. Typically, it's focused on combat ships and support ships for them. Rent them. They're for free. You'll have ships go on sale on the website, which will parrot whatever they've got on sale in the expo hall, typically. You might get some new ships, so it's a good time for them to release new ships and vehicles. Some of them might be straight to flyable, some of them might be concept. You might get a few. You might get like 2 to 3, sort of thing. Quick spoiler. So close your ears for a second. I'll wave when you can listen again. The Achilles Star Bomber is a possibility as well. Star Citizen Leaks have talked about that. It's a combat ship. Makes sense that it might turn up here. Though the 400i probably 3.14 thing if it is a thing, and I do think it is. You can listen again now. You can listen. No more spoilers. But yeah, really looking forward to Fleet Week. So last year, there's other in-game event stuff that was going on. So the UE Navy was flying around doing a parade around the major stations in the game, and they're firing off fireworks. And there was you could fight them technically by attacking them, and you'd fight them. People would like ram them into planets and then shoot the Idris and the Javelin. So they had capital ships there. Sort of first time we saw those properly in game. People were able to steal them, and there was a load of military ships with the F7As and the F8s. So it was like really pretty cool time to see a load of this cool stuff, and lots of unintended gameplay that players realised they could do with stealing those ships and stuff. So, yeah, you should get a lot more this year, because they wanted to have a lot more last year that they just couldn't do because the tech was just wasn't ready. So hopefully we'll have a better event, a more advanced event, because of that. But that's basically Fleet Week. Don't buy Alpha UEC on eBay. Agreed. They have added toilet body function to NPCs. Does that mean that we can expect simulation toilet body function for players in the game? 1 minute to wait to PP. So let me explain this. So we're getting players. You're getting the hygiene system at some point. Now that will potentially include the use of showering and toilets. And stuff like that, and washing your hands, maybe even to reduce your sort of like hygiene level or increase it, or whatever. The stuff that they talked about recently for AI was they got working better with beds and for bathroom breaks. So they'll go off to have bathroom breaks. We're not going to see anyone's PP. Okay, that's not going to happen. TIG. And I don't think you're going to be able to see a log after someone's used a toilet. I suspect there will be a little animation. Maybe it will go and a flush. At least that's my expectation. And you're probably not going to be able to constantly pee to or poo to reduce your hygiene. You're probably only able to do that every so often. Yeah, so overloaded servers during Fleet Week last year, that was a big thing. Fleet Week was hugely successful, even though the servers were madly overloaded. People couldn't log on. A lot of the time, the servers kept on crashing, and they've got a lot better with their servers since. Obviously, a little bit of instability today, for sure. Do you think it's wise to have Fleet Week in the current state of the persistent universe? Won't that be more detrimental? No. It's probably the best Star Citizen's ever been. Maybe I need to check the stability again and see the crashing and stuff. There's certainly going to be a couple more. Well, looks like they're putting out a new patch soon, a little hotfix patch, to fix some of the more annoying issues. And I'd expect to see another 3.13.x patch for Fleet Week, putting it in a better state. Do you actually want my opinion on what hold or sell Dogecoin? So Dogecoin, and I'm not a financial advisor, so take this as you want it. Dogecoin is very much a meme coin, and the way I see meme coins working is that they get pumped and dumped quite aggressively. So you'll see them probably see Doge go back to like 10 cents. That's probably when I'm going to be buying Dogecoin, and then I'll sell it when it gets to about 30 to 40 cents. And then I'll repeat that process. Never invest money that you can't afford to lose when it's something that's erratic like crypto. Just be aware of that. Do you think Star Citizen will ever have loss? The kind of loss that makes you think twice about doing something? Or is it just supposed to be arcade fun? I'm hoping it has genuine Eve type loss. Like they want to have the mortality, death of a spaceman stuff. That to me looks like proper loss and mortality. I want the economy to be driven by loss as well. I don't want everyone to be able to, well, I've got everything. I just had my ship insured for a little tiny bit of money and I don't lose anything. Doesn't matter when I die, sort of thing. I don't want that sort of arcade fun. I need loss to be a driving factor in the game. I don't want it to be so harsh and so unforgiving that it's just like, I can't do anything, my life's ruined. I don't want anything like that, but I want it to be a genuine driven by loss economy. You didn't expect me to answer. Well, you're holding. Good for you. You hodl if you need to, mate. I was talking to, when I went to CitizenCon 2019 to Detox at the airport, because he goes in the same airport that I do. And he said something as a joke, and I answered it, and he's like, oh, I didn't think you'd answer that. So I am conditioned to answer all questions which are normally dumb on my stream. Not obviously not all the questions are dumb. You guys are good. You guys are smart. You guys are smart. Can't be like in Scum, it's unplayable. And do you think the Inferno and the Iron will be on sale during Fleet Week? Yes, I do. They're combat-based ships. You know the big ground battle mode they've been working on? Will that be accessible during Fleet Week? Not that we've heard. However, this Friday, you're going to have a Cornwall devs focused on Theatres of War. So they're going to talk more about it. So you'll find out more information about that game mode later this week. Flight ready for Fleet Week. It says tractor beams and SRV. Oh, SRV flight ready for Fleet Week. Not as far as I'm aware. I think there's a lot of work that they'd have to do on tractor beams and testing for them, even if they were ready. What do you think of the What is Star Citizen video? Myself, I don't see why there's a big fuss about it. Most game trailers are like that. So I think the issue is that the What is Star Citizen... Oh, well, let's show it, because the issue I have with it is that it's partially representative of gameplay, but not entirely representative. So it's representative of what they want Star Citizen to look like and be like in the future, for sure. Like, they want it to be this beautiful thing. But at the moment, some of the gameplay there is just not realistic. It's pre-baked. So let's actually have a look at that. This is what people that typically wouldn't have seen Star Citizen before would be seeing as like a trailer for the game. So a lot of this is real. A lot of this is very much... A lot of this is gameplay that you can have. All this can't do that form of trading. Okay, so let's mark this out as one of the major gripes I have with it. If the shopkeepers had this level of animation and interaction, great. And if I could actually sell my gear back to them, that would be also great. But you can buy weapons. I mean, that's not a huge gripe. The bounty hunting gameplay, flying around ArcCorp, not genuine at the moment. That's not an animation you can do from your cockpit. That wasn't the game. Stuff like that. I was part of that. I think that's the one I was part of. So, a lot of people were like, it's not representative at all. So this isn't representative of gameplay. This is representative of what they wanted from Fleet Week. But it's largely representative of sort of gameplay that you can have in the game now and what they want it to be in the future. A lot of people are like, it's not representative at all of gameplay. Well, it is largely representative of gameplay. A couple of gripes about it. I think it's fair enough to be like, meh. Q3 2025. Warped Space. I know you'd said that as sort of a joke, but that is more realistic for a on-the-shelf release for Star Citizen. Hey, I watch your YouTube stuff. I made a Twitch to watch Subliminal and saw you. No worries. Subliminal is good content creator. I like his stuff. Is there any update when they'll fix the ship names to show on variants and skins? That's not currently in. No, I don't know when they're going to be doing that. I suspect in a 3.13.x patch. Do you know how do that hangar items you can buy from RSI shop work? So at the moment you can put them in your hangar. If you spawn in your hangar, you can put them there. In the future, it'll be part of the local inventory system and customization system. You're able to do that more in the persistent universe. What's got here is Fleet Week still slated for the last week of May. So yeah, it's typically around the end of May. I think around the 22nd for around 10 days. When are we getting the bikes? I know. I desperately want the Tumble Ranger. We don't have a date on that. Yeah, I'd love to be able to sell all the different items in game, and there's a load of stuff in Star Citizen that I think they could get much better short-term gameplay by just a few things. What else have we got here? Is there a free way to use Oculus Quest 2 in game? So, I don't think there's a free way. Vorpix is what I've used previously to get headsets working in Star Citizen. I'll have to look into it. What's the plans with UEC and migrating your funds to patch to patch? Basically, they save the long-term persistent database from patch to patch, but sometimes they'll wipe it, and they keep your ships, gear, and earnings between those patches. There will be wipes occasionally where they will wipe all of that, though. And eventually, they'll move over to UEC. When they move over to UEC from Alpha UEC, that is permanent, as far as I'm aware. Won't loss be hard to manage with all the ships that have been bought by real currency? Will players accept the loss of ships like they do? Okay, it doesn't have to be a loss of a ship like that. So, lifetime insurance on hulls and statutory insurance, well, cheap insurance for your ships, yeah, might not cover all of the gear and components you put in there. And maybe you will be able to insure all of that. But I suspect the gear on your ships, the components, will be much more valuable than the hull of the ship if it's like top-end military components. Like your A-class military super components, they're going to be significantly more valuable than your ship. And if you want to insure that, maybe there's going to be quite a high insurance premium on that. So loss of that stuff when you haven't got it insured, that's going to be a driving factor. The use of fuel, munitions, time, it's all driving factors for the economy. They need a way to offset just hyperinflation. And you have to have some forms of loss. When will the game be fully released? We don't have a hard date. I'm expecting sort of like 2025, 2026 sort of thing. Is there a date for the Redeemer? Redeemer is planned for 3.14. So, is it 3.14? 1 second. Let me give you some accurate information. Can't remember if this has moved around at all since I actually last committed it to memory. No, it's not. 3.15. So, end of September / mid-October patch is where the Redeemer is currently planned for 3.15. Do you think 2025 is a little optimistic? Quite possibly. With personalised hangar on the roadmap, where the heck are these going to be on each landing zone? So, okay, you might get personalised hangars in a more public area that just have your hangar personalised, sort of spawn in when you go there. So they might be behind locked doors that you can only access, or lifts that will only take you to your personalised hangar in the short term. So not physicalised, personal addressed hangars, but custom hangars that you go, oh, the elevator will take me to my personal hangar. Do you see what I mean? That's what I'd expect from the first stage of that. And Habs the same. Like, obviously, that was working with Habs previously, and they broke it. Will Star Citizen's original soundtrack be available soon? First Light's great. There's so many amazing songs from Star Citizen they made. Like, Star Citizen music is superb. Like, top tier. They may have to build out some new areas for landing zones, or at least tweak bits. I'm new to the game. When a server reset happens, does it get rid of my real-life purchases? No. The real-life stuff is kept between server wipes. Well, kept between even the long-term persistent database wipes. Stuff that you bought in-game, it does as well. So if you bought with in-game currency, that persists between patches where possible, and sometimes they do a wipe. But your real-life purchases will always remain in your account. Well, as I said earlier, when the game goes live, there is a potential you could lose your ships after your insurance period's ended. But you just make sure you insure your ships. Game does need to be driven by some form of loss. The Hawker on the roadmap, do you think that's the shopkeeper in the latest Star Citizen trailer? Oh, maybe. I thought it was more going to be sort of like the food vendors, but more for random gear, more Grimhex style sort of shirts and stuff on racks. You know what I mean? Just selling goods on like a stall. I think the Star Citizen community is thriving. I mean, making a lot of money. There's a huge amount of people playing it. What do you think of the Merchantman? Will you use it, and how? Yes, I love the Merchantman. It's one of my favourite ships. Do weapons persist in weapons racks yet? Don't know. I need to test that. No, weapons do not persist yet. Cool. John Smith has said that. It does make sense that they don't. Something I often hear my friends commenting on is server meshing. What exactly is server meshing, and when might you have it? Server meshing is coming out in multiple phases. Server meshing is the seamless sharing of data between servers, and that allows them to then have multiple servers running each shard. So at the moment, we've got one server running the standard system, but they can split that up into 1,000 servers running the standard system, seamlessly sharing data, and then you can have huge amounts of players in that single shard. You can have a single ship, because all these servers can then be nested in each other. So you can have a single ship being its own server, fighting another ship, which is its own server, in an area of space that is its own server, in a star system that's its own server. Yeah? And then eventually that leads on to dynamic server meshing, which is based on the object container and the population thereof it. They can spin up and down servers. So they can make it a server, and then they can then merge it into another server when its population decreases. And that it's all done seamlessly, it's the idea. And when are we getting it? I'm hoping that we get the first stage of server meshing next year. middle of next year is what I'm expecting. It should be with Alpha 4.0 with pyro and jump points. When are we getting more asteroids again? Thought CIG. Where would Fox this? We are getting more unscannable asteroids again. Oh, yes. There are obviously some bugs in 3.13. I'm hoping they're solving them like at the moment. Do you think crafting in the economy can exist without loss of items and ships permanently? How will it work? We need loss in the game. And you need driving factors and inefficiency. And I want crafting and an economy in the game. I want actually more player crafting. I'm fine with it not being player-led economy. I'm fine with it just being player-influenced. Do you think CIG will ever sell land claims again? Not if they're smart. It was a silly idea. They're not even selling land claims. They're selling the ability to... the gear to claim land. That's if you actually read into it a bit more. So meshing seems to be the unfinished thing, preventing more content to be added. No, that's not necessarily true. That iCache, server meshing, and that sort of tech is a huge, super important Star Citizen item to make it into an MMO, and a huge sort of floodgates for loads of content, yes, but they're still working on a load of content, and they're still getting that in-game. Hi, Bored. Thanks for the great streams you do. I wanted to ask how the first implementation of player outposts will work. So they've got the colonial outposts they're working on at the moment, which are more points of interest, and they're going to appear in like Pyro system and on the frontier areas, and they're more expansive sort of little NPC outposts. It sounds like they're going to have spawnable areas there though, and customizable hubs there. To what extent that will be, I don't think they're going to be addressed at that stage. I think they're going to be those physicalized and addressed. So I don't think you'll be buying a hab there. I think you will have to have a hab there, and it will move your room around, and it spawns you in. So you just sort of spawn in there, but you can customize all the stuff in it, and it will be the same room as it moves around onto the different servers. That's what I'm expecting for the first sort of iteration of that. Any news on the Corsair? Nope. No news on the Corsair. I realised, you know, the whole Death of a Spaceman thing. Does that mean an end to your lifetime insurance is possible if your character dies? No, the lifetime insurance follows the hull of the ship, and your assets, as far as we're aware, get passed on to your new character. Any time frame on roads? Nope. Rivers and roads are being worked on to some extent, but we don't know their time frame. Where are the pizza and noodles? It's in the food courts. Hi, Bored. When is the computer game Star Citizen coming out? Nice. We're hoping in about 5 years. Hoping in 4 years, but it's realistic for a first release of it. Can you point out a place to get help how to play Star Citizen as a new player? Yes. So if you go on the RSI website. So you can go to support.robertspaceindustriescom with specific questions. But if you're looking for... there's the literal new player hub. So if you're a new player and you're looking for help, you can go to robertspaceindustriescom/play Star Citizen. And let me show that on the screen for you. This gets updated from time to time. Typically, they've got a selection of various videos in here, and you can learn in the ways that you want. So you can read the ways, and it tells you how to get started. You can watch the videos, and they've probably some handsome YouTubers videos here. Where's mine? Mine not there anymore. Make me sad. Oh, I don't think mine's there anymore. That's made me sad. I have to update my 3.13 video. Why you do this? That's because I haven't got a 3.13 one, I've only got a 3.12 one. Smart. So I need to update my guide, maybe, question mark? But you can basically go through and find guides. You can actually also find players that will teach you through the guide system. So literally this is, I want to learn how to do this in-game, and someone will contact you Bam, take them into the game. You can chat with them, and you can learn with them. Right. I am going to dash off in a second. Answer a couple more questions. When do you think we'll see the new HUDs for ships? Actually, we'll start to see them, I think, in 3.14. We'll see yeah. I think that's when we'll start to see them. It's going to be a while before all the manufacturers have all their new ones. A curiosity, mate. What is the most frequent question you've had to answer about Star Citizen? I don't know. I don't know. Have you done any trolley? We've not done any trolley jousting yet, but maybe we'll try and organise something. Is there no reward for the guide system at the moment? There used to be. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate the love. Hey, Bored, in 3.13, my performance is much better. I've only had one server crash and frames are up quite a bit. Unfortunately, trade-off was consistent client crashing. That's what Zin's having today. I'll have a fiddle around, see if I can work out what's going on. Could be just a driver issue or something. Fred, thank you very much for your money. I like your money. Appreciate your money, Fred. Oh, you star. Thank you, thank you. Just a picture of a happy fox or cat or whatever the hell that is. Is there a major initiative to get all ships to gold standard SAP? I mean, they're working on physicalized components and getting ships to gold standard, and the Saber's the one that's being worked on next after the Gladius. But I don't know if that's a big priority. I would expect so. The Squadron 42 ships need to be brought to gold standard for sure. I feel like Star Citizen's beautiful already. Let's just focus on those gameplay loops. I mean, that's at least partly true. Like, they need to get gameplay in. They need to load the core in. It is pretty enough. Stop tweaking how pretty it is. Get the gameplay loops in, and then tweak its prettiness more, maybe. Although I think they'd say that they're doing all of that simultaneously. It's not mutually exclusive. Is there is planet landing in game yet? Yes. It's in game now. You can land at various planets and planetary zones. Star Citizen is a beautiful tourist attraction, so go and have a look at those. You spawn at one of the planetary zones, so. Yeah. When do you think ship-to-ship docking using docking nodes will appear? Not for a while. It's a magnitude beyond the Constellation to P52 and ship-to-station docking. Boxed mac and cheese or homemade?
Homemade?
Homemade every time. However, now I want mac and cheese tonight.
Oh, God, yeah. I haven't had mac and cheese in ages.
Last time you said something like that for food, Zin, where you went, oh, God, yeah, I sent you 100 lion bars. So be
You're
careful.
more than welcome to cook me some mac and cheese and send it to me.
That would be weird. I've sent you 100 boxes of mac and cheese. I couldn't waste food, actually. Does having Chris Roberts looking over your shoulder ever incite you to lie about who won the Imperator elections? No, because I wanted Addison to win. I voted for her. Do you think that the Hercules C2 will be able to hold ships in the cargo bay? I mean, big enough. Well, it's definitely big enough to hold the Tonk, and I believe the Ballista, but at least 2 Tonks. So I don't know for sure. Don't know until it's in our hands. Have you heard any? Well, it should be big enough. It's just whether the doors allow it. Have you heard anything further about org mechanics and org quality? Nope. I know they're working on some of that stuff though. And obviously, org features are incredibly important. When do you think we'll see Pyro? Middle of next year is my expectation. What's the ship hub you talked about before? I don't know the context of that, of what I said. Sorry, my bad. I guess no fights on planets. No, so there's FPS combat missions on planets now. and you can attack facilities and outposts there for various reasons. It's still pretty shallow gameplay there. There are not much to do there, but it does exist, and you can go and fight FPS and go into caves and the underground bunkers and do missions there and stuff. So, do we know when server sizes will increase? We're expecting that with server meshing. Potato Chef, thank you very much. Good name. Thanks for the money. Appreciate it. I wish I could. I'm not allowed to drink any water now until after my procedures. How was ship-to-station docking working with the freelancer variants? Being able to have the docking corner in the ceiling of the ship. I don't think that you will see freelancers ship-to-station docking in when they add it. I don't think it will be. I think it will be for mainly the larger ships to start with, and they can just land fine. Those freelancers. So I don't think you'll see them for ship-to-station docking. Blah, blah, blah. Thanks for asking my question. What do you think, how much the Hercules series prices will rise? Hopefully not much. Hopefully $25. Is the Corsair and the Merchantman a distant dream, or do you think it might be released next year? I don't know. They haven't really said anything about the Corsair. End of next year, potentially, if we're lucky, and they start working on them. Any recommended ships for cargo runs and decent turret defense? The Hercules, when it's out, is probably pretty solid. Is there any information about data supply cache? Yeah, they vaguely said they've rolled it into persistent streaming and server meshing, sort of wider features. They talk about it occasionally. Features for 3.13 and future features are all built with iCache in mind and have some of the iCache goodness in them. So it's sort of like lots of little bits towards iCache. Any predictions on the potential new ships for Invictus Fleet Week? No, I don't know. Beyond the Star Citizen Leaks ship they've talked about, Boom Boom one. No, I don't know. I would expect to see a couple of ships or vehicles, at least maybe 3 total. Will smaller ships have docking collars like the Cutlass ambulance? I'm not sure if they're supposed to have docking collars on the ships, and ship to ship docking will be a thing. Ship to station docking's a thing, but I was expecting that to be for larger ships, both to dock with stations. But I suppose we'll have to see. I hope Star Citizen will get a didgeridoo in game. What? Why?
It's a mini game that allows circular breathing.
But I can't really do my didgeridoo, bro. I'm not very good with it. One of my dumb presents from Cameron that he sent me. Love you talking about this. Well, if you ever want me to talk about didgeridoo, I have to dash off in a second because I literally have to go to a hospital for a variety of tests and things, and for them to potentially jam a camera up my bum. That's a possibility. I've had to have a load of laxatives to clear me out, and I haven't eaten in over 24 hours, almost 25 hours now. So I am going to dash off. But yes, thank you very much for joining me today. Very much appreciated. I think the first alien you're going to see in Star Citizen's Persistent Universe is probably the Boreal Stalker now. When we get the new item system, where will infantry go in the Persistent Universe? So probably the hangar and hab that you spawn in as your initial spawn. That would be my expectation. Right. I do need to go back. Mate, I'm terrible with the didgeridoo. I don't have to blow it. Right. Love you loads, guys. Thanks very much for watching. I'll be getting a quick Star Citizen 1-minute video out to the Star Citizen short video that I do in a minute. And then later on today, I think we've got a state of the 3.13 as well. But thanks very much for watching. I love you guys loads. You take care. We'll find someone to stream, actually. So, Zin, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
You're finding someone to stream and host. But,
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's fine. You can say it again if you want.
So I've got your stream on as well, so I heard it again.
Oh. Here we got here. So the people I don't know here. Should make someone's day. Not even going to bother having a camera. Why should I bother hosting you? Oh, there's a virtual stream. Should we see what the virtual streamer's like?
Yes.
They might be terrible.
Well, people can then fuck off, can't they?
That is true. Right. Thanks very much for watching, guys. We're going to go to a VTuber that's doing Star Citizen. Maybe now. Love you, lads. Take care. Give them a load of love.